Hi everyone, this is Josh from Pageant Empress, and with me I have a special guest, Rafa from Critical Beauty, reviewing the Mr. Global 2025, which happened yesterday. It was quite a show, right? It was quite a long, like 4 hours, 22 minute show. So, first of all, how was your first impression?
Well, it was long, like what you said. It's like I think I timed it like 4 hours and 25 minutes. Commercials were just so long. They kept
Yes.
repeating the commercials over and over and over again.
Mhm.
So that probably was about like over an hour already.
They want to dedicate a bit of time, airtime to the sponsors, but I was getting
Yeah,
bored. Like as the time progressed, like the show went on, I was getting a bit like, okay. The excitement
sleepy.
went from like 10 to like a 5, and towards the top 5, top 3, I was already at a 1. They
Yeah,
need to do a bit better. And it was on a Sunday. So, yeah, people have other
yeah.
things to do on Monday.
Production overall was, if I were to rate it from a scale of 1 to 10, I probably
Mm.
would give it like maybe a 7. And I'm
7 is
being
a good
very
one.
generous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Only because again, it felt very dragging.
Mm.
And there were some like production glitches, like camera wise,
Yes.
and some of the contestants felt lost or they seemed lost. They didn't know where to go. And I remember I think Mexico or even Venice or even the winner, Spain,
Yes.
they would constantly look at the stage director,
Oh, yes.
of the stage, say,
Yeah.
"Okay, where am I supposed to go? Oh, here. Yeah, so that to me was kind of like very annoying, very unprofessional. The production was not bad at all, and
Yes.
it is what we most of us I think expected from a male pageant.
Yes.
It wasn't as theatrical or a very pageantry compared to a female pageant, but it was decent. It was very decent. What do you think?
I think you're being very generous with 7. I would actually rate to give it 5 if the results were not going according to plan, but I'm going to give it a 6. I think it's quite a decent production.
Okay.
Nothing outstanding, let's say like within the next 5, 10 years. I'm not going to remember this edition. The only thing I probably remember is the Spain one, and that's about it. Like I'm not going to remember the evening gown, sorry, the formal wear, black tie. They call it black tie, right? Not even formal wear, so everyone had to wear like black. And also
Right.
swimsuit, I thought it was okay. I actually prefer it's a bit controversial, but I really like the photo shoot they did in the river. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
It's a bit like, oh, I think I saw some of the things. I don't know if it's PG like friendly,
Well,
but
not only that, but I think some of the poses, like some guys pose very provocatively.
like
I think one of them
Vietnam. Do you
was
remember?
one of
Like
them
it
was
looked like it was holding
Vietnam.
something. Yeah, I was like,
His legs were like really wide open, and
yeah,
then but I didn't mind looking at like Brazil has an amazing
yeah,
body. South Africa, even though his face doesn't necessarily match his bulky muscular body, but that body is like to die for. Okay.
yeah.
And then of course Mexico,
Wow.
which I think for me has the best body is
Don't even
Mexico
get
for
me
me.
started with
Yeah.
Mexico. Remember, like the first time that we saw, I was like Rafa, Mexico. Like he looks like, I mean, if I had a Latin boyfriend,
He
that
was
is
your
how I,
favorite,
yeah,
right?
like, he was my favorite from the get-go. I
Yeah.
was like, if I ever wanted to date a Mexican or Latino, like that would be it. Like
He would be.
everything from head to toe, he was perfect. So like he made me really like blush when I saw him every time on the stage. So like he was so handsome. Yeah.
Mhm. He's just so yummy, yummy. I think he
Yeah.
was the best looking Latino, I
He
think.
was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
great. Dom could have handled the whole show himself just but
Yeah.
by hosting by himself. He didn't need another like a partner, especially the
Yes.
former Miss Global or whatever. But I thought, I mean, she was decent, she was okay. I mean, she looked pretty on stage and whatnot. I mean, other than that.
Like, as the backstage commentator, right? Like for example, Katrina Gray,
Yes.
she did an amazing job as the backstage host. I was expecting something like her or someone like her who would actually give commentary, give feedback about who are the standouts. These girls who, okay, let me get the names correctly. So the two of the backstage female hosts were Vanessa, Miss Global Thailand first runner-up 2025, and Saffron Nesta. I think she's half English. She's the winner of
Mhm.
Miss Global Thailand 2025, and Patrick, who was last year's Mr. Global Thailand 2024. And I think it was top 5, if I'm not
Okay.
wrong. But all of them, I feel like they should, like, if I was the owner of the TPM Global, I would fire them on the spot because they were so awful. They didn't know what they were doing. And having a straight guy in the middle of the two girls to give commentary
Yeah,
about pageantry, it was so awkward. Like, we need
they were
some
like,
gays.
oh,
Ralph, if you
yeah,
and I were the backstage commentator,
we
we
will
would
be
do a
like
phenomenal job. Come on, let's be
we
honest.
would be we would be critiquing everything from the
Yes.
ceiling, from the ceiling, from the floor, from the chairs and whatnot. Everything we'll be
Yeah.
criticizing. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there was really no need to bring in a third person like the straight guy. I
Yeah.
mean, those two women were fine, but sometimes I felt like there was sort of like a imbalance of
Maybe they didn't have
words.
rehearsals, like similar to what he said the show, like the final show, he did not not feel that they practiced. Maybe they just lacked rehearsals. I don't know, but it just didn't feel like it was a final show. What he said, I think the US,
Yeah.
when he had to, I think, give his speech, like he was looking at the camera like for, okay, should I go? Should I go? It was a bit awkward for like 10 seconds. So you need to
Hmm.
rehearse that. Come on, guys. This international pageant. We're not at a national contest. It felt like a local pageant watching it. Even though they had a great
Yeah.
production, the actual
Yeah.
running format, the pacing, it felt like I was watching like a local pageant.
Yeah, they lack spontaneity too. They had to be more spontaneous, I think.
So should we do the introduction?
That's one thing I really appreciate about any type of pageant that's being held in Thailand because they're able to incorporate a lot of Thai culture and local
Yes.
colors into it. And like with a past Mr. International
Mhm.
contest, you also have that Thai color. And of
Yes.
course, now that Miss Universe is going to Thailand, I expect a lot of rich, colorful Thai culture on stage.
I always liked it, whether it's the stage design or the music, even. It just felt like, okay, we are in Thailand. I think they did really well for the introduction. I like the stage. I think it was pretty nice. Were there any standouts from the get-go? You're like, okay, this guy probably will make like top five or top 10.
I was really surprised by China because China, I didn't even see him. He was like totally off the radar. But when
Yes.
the camera zoomed at his face, and I
Yeah.
realized, oh my God, this guy looks like a movie star. He's like very,
Very
very
cute,
handsome. I
right?
like his
Yes.
hair, his
Yes.
skin, he has a good height, very tall
Yeah.
for a Chinese man. I thought this guy's fantastic. So he really surprised me. There were some also Laos. I think you and I both
Yeah, we
love
both had Laos in like
Laos.
top five. So that it makes sense. Yeah.
With or without his glasses, I think he looks very sexy. He
And
looks
I
very
think I
hot.
would say something about Laos. I didn't know he was that small. Like people were saying in my comments that he's a little bit small, despite being small. And I said, what are you talking about? But when they lined up in the top 10, he
He's
was, I
pretty
think, the
tall.
shortest. He's, I think,
Yeah.
5'10", which is for a male pageant, it's a little bit small. Usually they're like 6 foot,
Well,
like
he's
six
probably
something.
wearing like, his shoes probably had like 3-inch soles to
Maybe,
make him
but
taller,
yeah, like
taller.
I thought he was a bit taller than, let's say, like I was thinking maybe similar to Spain or even China,
Mhm.
who are one of the taller contestants. So I was a bit
Yeah.
disappointed he was a little bit small, but I think he would do really well as a celebrity because he's already an influencer in Laos and he knows how to
He
speak
should
Thai.
compete. I can see him competing in Mr. International.
Do you think
Don't
he'll
you
come
think?
back next year?
I think he would
Yeah,
come back.
that'd be
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he
Yeah.
needs to
I think
practice his runway because he can speak English really well. That's communication skills is his forte. But when he was walking, I was like, okay, slow down a bit. He was too excited. I feel like maybe it's the first time in a stage fight might have happened. He was just going on and he just went backstage. I was like, dude, stay for a moment. Give us that face card, right? Like expressions. So I think he needs to practice
yes.
his pastoral a little bit more and come back next year.
Not only that, but he also have to be aware of time because he went
Yes.
like a
Over
few
time.
seconds over
Yes.
time, and PJ, the host, noticed that.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that PJ hosted is like the main MC, by the way. He's the
You're
main
the main one.
MC.
Yeah, we
And
forgot
I
to
was
mention
so
him.
happy
Yeah.
to see him come back. Yeah.
Yeah. So China, I like his personality, but I think he needs a bit more time to progress and develop because his body is not at the same level as, let's say,
Mhm.
Mexico, Spain, they have incredible like six packs, eight packs. So I think maybe like in 5 years, he could join maybe Mr. International or Mr. China because I think he's 19. Him and Turkey, they are
He's
the two
young.
youngest.
Yeah,
And Turkey is also
he's
really
very
cute. I
young.
don't know if you noticed him, but he is really intelligent. I think he would do good for Mr. World, but again, he needs time because
Yeah,
these guys are like
he needs
teenagers,
more
right?
time.
19 is still a kid.
What do we think of Macau? Definitely stood out because of the way he carried himself on stage.
At the moment, there is an Asian version of RuPaul's Drag Race. It's called the Slasian Asian. So for the season
Yeah,
2, I would love to see him
I watch
represent
it. Yeah.
Macau. You watch it, right? It's in the
Oh,
Philippines. So I think we
yeah.
should have a first Macau queen, and that could be Mr. Global
That would be
Macau.
awesome. That would
Yeah.
be awesome.
Because
Yeah.
he does
Go
like,
Macau.
yeah, Chinese theater, which is very similar to drag, right? Like heavy makeup, very like
Oh,
theatrical dance.
white makeup.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
he does that
the
professionally.
headdress. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think he'll
Hmm.
be good as a drag queen. Oh, let's talk about Vietnam. He missed out. Unfortunately, he had
Yes.
food poisoning.
Yeah. What the hell did he eat? Like
And it
what
happened right after the prelim competition, right? Like he said on the
did he
post, like
eat
he
some
ate
street
something
food or
yesterday, day
something?
before yesterday. Maybe it was a
Oh my
fruit,
God.
maybe durian. I don't know. He ate something weird and that caused like food poisoning. And it's a shame. I
Well,
wanted to see him because,
he should
he's
have
known.
known better.
Yeah,
He
he
should,
already competed at Mr. International. So he has the
yeah,
experience for like a few weeks prior. It happened in the same
exactly.
place. He didn't fly far away. So I expected that, okay, maybe he will get like top 20.
But if he had been able to compete, do you think he would have like made a cut?
I think
At
he'll
least
probably replace either,
top 20?
yeah, I think he'll probably replace either South Africa or Canada. Like those two, I did not have in the top 20. I think Canada is a nice guy. I think he's a doctor. Like he has a good background, but I don't think he's made for pageantry.
Like what is Nigeria doing here? I mean, is it like the token African? I
No,
mean,
but
besides
Nigeria
South
won the
Africa.
fan favorite, right? In the top 10 plus one. He
Oh, he
was the plus
did.
one. So maybe that's how he got in.
Okay, so that's oh yeah, that's right, that's right,
Yeah.
that's right. So okay.
Okay, let's go to the top 20. Were there anyone that stood out? Oh, no, let's before we even talk about the top 20, that's swimsuits, which I thought was really awkward to have a swimsuit right before the top 20. Why did they not just eliminate the rest of the contestants? What did you thought of that?
I would have preferred to see them wearing a robe
Robe,
just to look
cover
more
the stuff.
sophisticated on
Yeah.
stage because with their bodies fully exposed, I
Yeah.
think you can't imagine like some of the gay guys like ogling, at their bodies, at their crotch or whatever. So
Mhm.
I would have preferred to have seen them wearing this really beautiful silk robes, like bathrobes on stage. That would have been a nice touch, I
I would have actually preferred if they just announced the top 20 because obviously the show is getting a bit long. So if they have just
think.
announced the top 20, then they could have just done the top 20 swimsuit, similar to Miss Universe, how they do the semifinals and the swimsuit. I thought the swimsuit was okay, nothing like out of the ordinary. For me, it was like, yeah, it's
Yeah,
nice.
it wasn't as exciting as Mr. International, I
Yeah,
think. It was, I mean, I like the fact that they were all wearing footwear rather than
they had
barefoot
shoes, they had
because,
white shoes, correct, like
yeah,
trainers.
yeah,
Yeah.
because it's not very hygienic anyway to be barefoot on.
Actually really liked France. I like the one sleeve tattoo he had. I thought when he doesn't speak, I find him really handsome. Like obviously when he opens his mouth, that could go a bit downhill, but he looked really
Mhm.
good in the swimsuit round. I like the tattoos. He looked poised, he looked confident. So maybe he could be a really good fashion model. I don't know about pageantry in the future, but he was
Okay,
really
then
good with swimsuit. Yeah,
maybe you should get in Manhunt because
that would be good.
Manhunt,
They don't have
this is
Q&A.
modeling, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyone that you really like in the swimsuit round?
I like Brazil. I thought Brazil has one of the best bodies. I like Mexico. Puerto Rico is hot. I like let me see. I like well, for me, if I want to have the ideal body for myself, I would probably pick Thailand's body. Okay, because
Oh, you want a lean
he's
body.
slender,
Right.
he's lean, he's slender, he's not too muscular. He's
Yeah.
just perfect. So that's the kind of body that I want for myself. China's look, China's body again, svelte and whatnot. But I think Mexico for me is like the hottest in
Definitely.
swimsuit.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know
Okay.
if they had a best in swimsuit, but I would give it to Mexico. I don't think they announced it, right? But like, I think for me, from the get-go, because he also did a slow motion turn, which I usually do not like in male pageantry, but it was still manly. It was quite masculine the way he did it. So I didn't mind it. I think him and Myanmar, who
Who started slow motion?
was it?
Was
I
it
don't know.
Kim? Was it Kim Woodburn who started the slow
I
motion when he
I think
was
in male
competing?
pageantry, I think it was Kim, but he won. So maybe
Yeah,
that's why everyone is like copying
yeah.
them. It was Mexico did, I think, really good because right after Mexico, they had Myanmar. And I thought Myanmar was a little bit going towards Miss Universe direction or like Miss Grand direction. So I was like, okay, you should not do it. You have a great body, but Myanmar reminded me of Mr. International Nepal. I don't know if you remember him. Like he was really like slim and very much like
Similar look.
similar, like face wise, very similar. But Myanmar has more like a chisel. Obviously, he has like a six pack.
Like Philippines. I mean,
Yeah,
he's
Finland.
one of the tallest, obviously, but
Yeah.
he has a swimmer's build. He's a very lanky, he's not thick, he's not thin either. He's like very slender, very swimmer's
Yes.
build. But you notice that when he walk, his like upper thighs are slightly like on a feminine side, I think very soft side.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's the same thing with Venezuela. Venezuela,
Yes.
I think his body is not really symmetrical. I mean, he's very muscular, from the waist up, but from the waist down, he has a very kind of like roundish upper thighs and also a big bubble butt. So in a way, to me, that was very distracting. But other than that, I think, he carried himself very well on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, that's the only critic I can have about Philippines and
When
Venezuela.
I saw
Oh,
Philippines during the national competition, I was quite excited because obviously his height, right? He was next to Kirk, who's already quite tall. So I was like, okay, maybe Philippines will make like top five because he has a good height. But when I saw the swimsuit, I was a bit disappointed because I expected more, because Dom just won the previous year. So there is an expectation of to get back to back or a higher placement. So I was like, okay, maybe not. Like after I saw the swimsuit, but I think he recovered when he went to the top 10, sorry, top 11 speech
yes,
round. I
correct.
think he recovered. So there was definitely redemption for Philippines because it was like going downhill in the swimsuit, but then went up. in my list after I heard him speak. And I think is he American? He has an American accent.
Probably studied in America. He probably studied in
Yeah.
America. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He gave one of the best speeches wise. You know what? I like Korea, but
He's
here's
Korean
the
American,
thing.
Eric Kang.
I like when he speaks, but on the stage, I don't know, something happened last night. He got too nervous or something happened because his
Okay, yeah.
message was great. Like I love the content of his answer or speech, sorry, but how he actually delivered the speech, it felt there was something lacking.
He
I don't know
was,
if something
I think he
happened.
was a bit, I think he was a bit nervous. I think the nerves got to him. He was looking around like he knew, oh my God, I'm competing with some of the best guys. I feel
Yeah.
like, I'm
And
gonna
do
lose.
you think it's because obviously the Miss International happened a few weeks earlier, and like I don't know if you liked him too, but
Oh,
Mr.
pressure,
Korea at the Miss
pressure.
International was one of the fan favorites. So maybe he felt like, okay, I have to kind of be up to the same expectations, same level as him, and maybe he kind of felt that pressured to, I don't know, maybe it's just me thinking, but it felt like they're from the same
Probably.
organization, so he has to be as good as Miss International Korea. So maybe that's why he kind of overdid it. I don't know. But he's still
Yeah.
handsome. He could still compete in the future
He's
because he
very
speaks
handsome.
English.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's a physician, right? He's a doctor, I believe.
Oh no, he's a
Can
teacher. He teaches in
oh yeah,
Korea.
he's a
He's
teacher.
an English
Like
teacher.
who was Yeah, when they had a casual look, when they all came out as professionals, who was the one who was wearing carrying a stethoscope around his
That
neck?
was Canada. It was Canada.
Canada.
Yeah.
Okay,
He
Canada.
works
That's a
as a
doctor.
doctor. Yes. Sri Lanka for me was a doctor in the competition. I know they only had two. They had
Sri
India and
Lanka,
Sri
I
Lanka.
think of the South Asian dudes, I think
They only
Sri
had two.
Lanka was the best.
Yeah. I actually prefer
Well,
Sri Lanka as well between them, him and
Sri
India.
Lanka, yeah, over India, Canada, and in England, who is actually Pakistani. So yeah, so I thought Sri Lanka. I think something about his hair that
Yeah.
is so hot and smoldering,
Yeah, he
smoldering
reminds me of like
sexiness.
Tarzan, like real life action of
Yeah,
Tarzan with the
Tarzan. Yeah,
long hair. He looks really sexy in the scene, so I like.
you
I
didn't like
love
him,
Uruguay. I the only thing is he's not the best speaker, so I was a bit nervous if you make it to the top 11 because you have to speak, right, for the
right?
semifinals. So for the swimsuit, I actually really liked him when he did his hand up, which I usually don't like, meant overdoing those hand movement, but he looks super sexy.
Thought he played the game very well,
Yeah,
and I want to see him also come back compete in another pageant. Maybe Mr. World. I think he'd fit in very
that would
perfect for
be
Mr.
nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's a
yeah.
I think fitness trainer, so he already has a great physique, so he has good
Mhm.
mindset. I think it's just about delivering the message because I think I talked to you previously during the close to interview. There were a couple of guys, even though they're like fantastic, like physique wise, but they are not the best speakers. So Uruguay is
Mhm.
another one who needs to work in his communication skills a lot.
Of
We're going to
course.
miss the
Yeah.
well.
I think one of the reasons why Spain won was that he competed not only, well, before he reached the international level, he competed locally and then
Yes.
he competed regionals and then nationals. So all those competitions sort of like, help him prepare for the international competition. And he's already very, famous in Spain. He has a huge following. Everybody loves him. He's very friendly. He's very sophisticated and whatnot, a good communicator. Although, when he spoke Spanish,
Mhm.
he's a very thick. He's like very 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 thick Spanish, like Castilian accent. And
Oh,
when you
right.
listen to,
Right, right.
I was listening to the interpreter, who
Uh-huh.
also by the way has a Castilian accent, and okay, well. I thought Spanish aced everything. He nailed all the questions that was asked to him. He excelled very well during the final Q&A.
Mhm.
When he was asked what is the essence of a gentleman, he aced the whole thing. And his interpreter was not bad. Okay, he didn't give the same punch, the same delivery as the contestant did,
Right.
but he did quite well, the interpreter. So
I
kudos
heard a
to him.
lot of people kind of like almost bashing the Mr. Spain winning because he did not speak English, right? On the stage, he spoke Spanish. For me, it didn't really matter that he spoke his native language because obviously, as a non-Spanish speaker, it's about the delivery, how he speaks, he
Yeah.
expresses his message, and he looked quite confident for both of the rounds. So I had to ask you because you speak Spanish fluently. So I was like, Rafa, is he doing a good job? And he said he actually had a better message than what the translator delivered, right? Like
Yes,
the
he
answer was
did.
actually not
He did.
accurate.
Regardless of how the interpreter interpreted Mr. Spain's answer, I think the
Right.
judges knew in there that he was going to be the winner anyway. I think
Yeah.
they already Spain as the winner in their mind. So regardless of what the interpreter, delivery or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think everybody's happy. I mean, as you know, Venezuela is my sentimental favorite, but
Yeah.
again, it is what it is. I think William put on a good fight. So I read it. Actually, I was reading I was reading the comment section. I think Mississology when they posted, William Bedell's picture. So somebody commented, I think William should change his last name from bad to good. Like instead of William Badell, it should be William Goodell. So maybe it'll bring him good luck next time. Maybe next time he will
That's
win. I thought,
funny. That is
this is
very
so
funny.
cute.
Yeah. And
It's
I
humor.
know like people are kind of trolling him a little bit because he keeps competing and he doesn't really win the title. He always like first runner up, a second runner up. But you know what? Good for him, right? Like if he has a hobby, if he really wants to go like chase his dream, do it. And I know we were kind of joking a little bit, saying maybe he'll go to another pageant. Maybe next year he'll go like Mr. World or Manhunt International, where he doesn't really have to speak for the Manhunt at least. So maybe he will try out. You never know. I mean, he definitely is a pageant fighter. He has a dream
I would,
and he will make sure he
should
chases
it,
it.
yeah, you know what? Should he come back
Yeah.
again, to compete on another pageant? I would like for him to try to rejuvenate himself because he
Mm.
lost weight, so his
Yes.
face is much thinner. He
Yes.
lost some volume on his face. I mean,
Mm.
there are ways right now, cosmetic surgery to add volume back to your face and whatnot.
Yes.
I would like to see him trim his thighs a bit because they're kind of like very muscular, but
Mm.
not in a good way, kind of like
Right.
very feminine muscular. So I
Mm.
want him, I want to see him. Actually, I want South Africa to train him as his trainer to train his, his physique. South Africa would be, or even Mexico. Mexico, I think, is a
Mexico.
trainer
But
as
if he
well.
trains with Mexico, I don't think they'll be doing any training. Because if I
Oh,
was
that's
Mr.
true.
Venezuela, we will not be doing any training if I was like stuck in a room with Mr. Mexico. So
All right,
I don't
fine.
know how that will
All
work
right,
out.
Peru or Brazil.
Up here, yeah, someone else. But I know, I think lives in Dubai, right? If I'm not wrong, Mr. Venezuela.
Yeah,
They
he
have a
lives in
lot of like
Dubai.
cosmetic beauty clinics in
He can
Dubai. So
always find sponsors.
yeah, there are a
He
lot
can
of
always
people who could
find,
help him with that.
yeah, anything. Of course, has to be an exchange of trade. You know what I
Yeah, like
mean? I'll
collaboration.
give you,
Yeah.
I'll give you free service, and you offer some of your service to me. So it's gonna
Yeah,
be
like a free service, right? In return. Yeah. So
yeah, you know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So
But I
yeah, but
think
I
he'll
want to
do
see
well.
come
For
back.
me, the only thing I kind of did not like about Venezuela is that he every time like they announce or like if they're on the stage and they have to do a speech or something, he always has a very serious look. For example, if you look at people like Spain or even Mexico, Mexico was like
Oh,
flirting
you
around
can tell.
using like
Yeah.
like hugs. He was always like
Yeah, I
having a
noticed
cheerful
that
attitude.
too.
But the only one who was like really like
I
this, like
noticed that
I
was
could see that seriousness, which I
he was very
understand.
anxious.
Yeah, even though I get it that
He
of
was
course
very
he's a bit
anxious.
nervous and
Yeah.
like he wants to make it to the next round, he still needs to have a bit more liveliness because he cannot be so serious. And maybe that's what the judges saw. Because Spain and Mexico, they were like, okay, like let's have fun. He's enjoying and they were living in the moment.
Yeah, he was thinking, am I gonna win? Am I gonna win this time? Am I gonna win?
Yeah, you cannot because it's similar to sports, right? You cannot always win. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but it's all about living in the moment and actually enjoying the experiences because they are there for what 2, 3 weeks in Thailand and just make the best out of it. Because you never know, you may build connections and maybe get that beauty clinic that you were talking about just previously. Because there are tons of sponsors in Thailand.
Exactly. What do we think of USA? What do you think of USA?
Well, personally, Rafa, I think you know how I feel about USA, and I feel that there are so many incredibly like dazzling, handsome guys at the Mr. USA, which is one of the biggest national competitions. I believe he joined it last year, was it? Was he
Yeah, he was in the
last
top
year?
10. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
I feel that if they had to handpick, I would have actually picked someone else for the Mr. Global because he has a great body, right? Great physique, but
Mhm.
face wise, like face card wise, I feel that he was maybe not the best choice from the batch of the candidates that they had last.
He looked a little tired, I think.
A
He
bit
wasn't
exhausted.
he didn't
Yeah.
look fresh as when he was competing in Mr. USA.
Like I feel like there were so many other contestants who could have done a phenomenal job because obviously the Mr. USA, I don't know where they get these guys because they are fine. Like Rafa, these are one of the most fine guys I've seen in the US, state competitions, national
In a long
competition.
time.
So in a very,
Yeah.
very long time. So I feel like they were better options. I mean, good
Mhm.
for him that he made it to the top five. Was he my choice? Obviously not. But you know what? Maybe he proved the judges that he is worthy of being in the top five. But I think that if he wants to do other competitions, he really needs to work on his passerella because it was so
Yeah.
stiff. Him and Indonesia, I don't know, there's something with the like this, the
Oh, the
neck,
shoulders, the
the
posture.
shoulders and the neck. It was
Yeah,
super
he needs to
awkward.
relax more. Yeah.
Yeah, him and Indonesia. And I don't know what is happening with these two. Even though they had good
Yeah,
bodies and
what
good height.
happened? Yeah, why do you think Indonesia was shut out?
I
It's
think
been
that
pretty
Indonesia, the
drastic.
organization, they are not doing a good job of sending delegates who are worthy for international standards. And it's not just me
Oh, okay.
speaking. I have friends who are Indonesian, pageant lovers, pageant pages. They say the same thing. They express the same opinions that they have great delegates, like the Mr.
Mhm.
International, Indonesia, who was
Oh,
Oliver. I think he would
yeah,
have been
yeah,
a better
yeah.
choice for Mr. Global, actually, than the candidate who
True.
went. Like
But
cute.
Oliver, wait,
Yeah.
wait a minute. Do you remember L-Man? Isn't that the Indonesian organization
Yeah,
that
I think
just
that's the national
named?
competition for, yes, for Mr. Indonesia.
Okay. Okay,
So
but not
they
for
need
Mr. Global though.
no, I think it's a two different
It's the same, it's
organization.
a different
No, no.
one.
I think
Totally different.
Oliver is from the L-Man, which is the biggest, like Putri Indonesia, the biggest national competition in Indonesia.
For men.
I
Mhm.
think he comes from Mr. Globe Indonesia. I need to check the names, but
It's
it's two
different
different national actors. So the
organization.
global one has to be very careful because even last year they were unplaced. So they do not have a good track record in Mr. Global from Indonesia. So
They need to
hopefully,
do their homework. They're not doing their homework very well. They need to
yeah,
really focus on doing making their homework. Yeah. Oh
correct.
well, maybe next year. Well, I did not expect Hong Kong to
But
be
Hong
there
Kong
in the top.
won the fan favorite. You know, they had two fan favorites. Top 20 had, I
Yeah,
think, popular choice, and he made that one.
it doesn't mean he deserved to be there just because he won the fan favorite.
I
You
think like
know.
his spot probably would have went to maybe like Vietnam if he did not have food poisoning. Actually, that's what I was thinking
Mhm.
originally. Because Vietnamese fans were voting for him insanely. Like, you know, they are like very addicted to pageantry. They will
Oh
vote for the
yeah,
candidate regardless. Yeah.
they're really
So
very yeah. They're
and in the
okay.
end, what do you think of Mr. Peru? Because for me, he has one of the most adorable, cute face. I just want to like hug him, like pinch his cheeks.
Yeah,
He has a baby face.
he could be like Mr. Mexico's younger brother in a way.
I kind of
It's,
can see
it's,
it.
he's a little shorter than
Yeah,
Mexico, but they look alike. Yeah, same physique and whatnot. Yeah, so they could be like siblings and whatnot. I felt bad for Peru, but you know what? Again, it's a very strong competition,
yes,
and I think maybe they were looking for somebody who's more mature in
it's
this case.
possible. Yeah.
And that's something that maybe Peru lacked. Who knows? Other than that, he's hot, he's sexy. He's a good speaker and whatnot, and he has one of those fabulous costumes. Like very
The national
colorful, like
costume. Yeah.
yeah, it was like
I love the
amazing, like really,
feathers. Yeah, yeah.
yes, all feathers. Hello, South America, birds.
Yeah, Birds
So
of
yeah,
Paradise.
he
But I thought
orders
he
order
was
with that
stunning.
costume.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Peru should once again, similar to other contestants, because he's a bit young, take some time for self-reflection, development, and maybe come back to other competitions in maybe 2 years, 3 years. Because we know that Peru loves to, recycle the contestants. They like to go to different competitions. So I think it'd be great for maybe, I don't know, Mr. International, but not next year. Take a gap year, maybe in like
Give it a couple of
2027,
years.
couple of
Yeah.
years, because he's
Gain
still
gain
young.
more life experience. Life
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Do not just join because just because we say like go for then another competition, it doesn't mean like Vietnam, right? Fly on to another competition straight away. It just takes some moments.
No,
So
you need
let's
to rest.
yeah, you get
You
too
need to you need to
exhausted.
rest your body and your mind. Yeah.
Right. Okay, let's move on to the top 11. So it's top 10 plus one, and the plus one goes to Mr. Nigeria, who won the fan vote.
Mhm. Uruguay and France, those two guys to me were the most surprising. France, as you know, he had a brain freeze
Yes.
during the preliminaries and whatnot. He forgot his line, and then he didn't do very well during the first round of interview,
Yes.
and then by luck he made it to the top 11. So I guess the judges love him nevertheless. And then Uruguay, like I think Uruguay would have been, yeah, he didn't deserve to be in top 11. I think who should have replaced him? I think either I don't know, maybe
Peru, Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka.
Mhm.
Peru would have been a better replacement, I think, than Uruguay.
Because I did not have Nigeria that high, like if I was, let's say, like one of the judge, and if I could bring one back, I'd probably put like Peru instead of Nigeria. Because the rest I didn't really mind because I actually did have them in my top 10, including Uruguay.
Mhm.
So like I actually had pretty much all of them except Nigeria. So I was like, you're messing up my leaderboard because I had the perfect 10 and we had a plus one and Peru was missing from that plus one. So I was like, oh no. But yeah, I'll probably replace him. Because rest of them, I think they're pretty decent. Like it was because the batch was not that strong compared to let's say Mr. International, where
Right,
Rafa, these
right.
guys at Mr. They were so fine. Like I had like top 20, not even top 10.
Yeah.
I
You
had like
can't even
so many.
compare anymore. You
Yeah,
can't compare. I mean, I think to me, I mean, really, to be honest, Mr. Global is still not a grand slam male pageant. I think it's still developing
it's
because
like
it's still in the
upcoming.
process.
Yeah, upcoming grand
It's,
pageant. Like
it's
yeah,
upcoming, but it hasn't really attained the same level as Supra, Mr. World, or Mr.
correct,
International
correct.
or
Yeah,
Manhunt, because those other pageants have already experienced years of
yeah.
experience
Mm.
and professionalism, whereas Mr. Global is still, starting. I can say the same thing with the female version with Miss Global, which is
Yeah.
still like a second tier female pageant for me.
The black tie, right? It's instead of calling formal wear, they called it black tie round.
We
What did
call it
you think
black
of that?
tie. You know
Yeah.
what? They need to get rid of that black tie thing. I want to see other formal wear besides black tie, okay? Like they all look identical. They all look like penguins. Nobody really stood up because they're all wearing black. I would wanted to see like a white jacket or maybe something colorful. Don't be afraid of colors, like
Yeah.
maybe red or even lavender or even pink.
I think like if they just called it formal wear, which usually
Boring.
what is
Yeah.
what they call in other competitions, if it was just formal wear round, I think it would have given them more options to choose maybe some colors if they wanted to experiment a bit more, show their personality, their sense of fashion. That would have made it a bit more individual to the contestants' choice. But because it was black tie, I was
Yes.
bored within like the last like the first three contestants. All were looking like penguins with the the black tie with the like bow tie with the black suit and the white shirt. I was like, okay, what else? Can we get a bit more, maybe, I don't know, gold? I mean, just because it's black tie doesn't mean they cannot have some colors or accent colors. I think one of the contestants had gold,
Yeah.
but he didn't make the top 11. Venezuela
Okay.
had a satin, which I did not like it
A
because
satin.
satin fabric is supposed to go inside in the lining, not outside. So I thought,
Oh, but it's
what is going on?
outside.
Did his designer like did not complete the suit because it looked like it was just halfway done up to this much, and this part looked like
Exactly.
the inside fabric. So I was like, I don't know. But I like Myanmar's outfit. It was the one that was fully embellished. It was black, but it has like I would wear it. Like maybe because it's my style. I would definitely wear his suit. It had a bit of embellishment, a little bit of glitter, and like yeah, so it's crystal. Like it just looks phenomenal. Even though it was a black tie.
George, did you notice that virtually all the major males pageants, they crown the winners without a crown? They
I
all
wonder
either
why.
give them a
Yeah,
trophy
yeah.
or a sash. When you compare it like with Men of the World,
They
the
have a
winner has a
crown, right? Like a golden crown.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
with all the beta male pageants that take place in Latin America, they all wear crowns. Even the male pageants in the Philippines, all the winners
Yeah,
have to wear
yeah.
a crown. And most of the time, they don't look like masculine crowns. They look like more crowns fitted for women or for young women.
Right.
I thought it was hilarious. So please do not put a crown on Mr. Global, on Mr. International, and Mr. World, okay, or
I mean, the
Supra.
only exception I can make, Rafa, for that, especially for Mr. World, if the crown looks like Miss World, similar to like Miss World and complements, because Miss World crown is already quite, for me, in my opinion, it looks like a king's crown actually. Because if you look at the history of the UK, the Great Britain, it's inspired by the Queen's crown essentially, which has been
Right, right,
traditionally
yes.
worn by men. So for me, I don't really mind the Mr. World. Oh, that for me, Miss World crown is like iconic. So for that, I
Yeah.
exception, but the rest, no. Keep it the way it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, is there a male pageant that awards the winner with a cape? I know
They
Mr. Global
do,
has a blue
but
jacket,
yeah, yeah, but it's a
right?
jacket. I was gonna say like Mr. Global does. What do you think of that? Can you tell me? Because for me, it looks a bit awkward to redress in front of
Okay.
everyone. It's like,
And how
I
would
don't know how
and
I
how
feel
would they
about
know?
this.
And how would they know? Is it like I think I mentioned it in my Instagram? Is it like a one size fits all jacket? I mean, what if the guy
It
is
cannot be.
short?
Come on, they have different
You
body
know what I
types.
mean?
How would that
So
fit
they
everyone?
you
Yeah,
know, they have to have like designed. They would
custom,
have to
right?
have
Yeah,
somebody in mind already to win
yes,
to be able to wear this jacket, right? So
yeah,
either Venezuela, Spain, or Mexico.
yeah.
So maybe so top three would share the same size. But yeah, I thought it was. And what the hell was that? What did they give him? Was it like an ice cream or flower or something? Yeah,
It was a
it looked like an
bouquet
ice cream.
shaped like an ice cream. Yeah, yeah. Maybe
It's
if
a
he's like,
bouquet.
yeah, if he was like
But what is it made of?
dehydrated, maybe just
What is
something
it
to get
made
sugar.
of?
I think it's
Okay, because
fabric, isn't it?
it looked like or glass, like from a
I think
distance.
I think it's just a fabric that has been like like what do you call it, pleated fabric.
Yeah,
It looks like
okay.
fabric because it's not real flour.
Well,
That one, yeah.
it looked like
I
ice
would
cream to me.
actually recommend the Mr. Global if they really want to put like a tradition. They could have maybe a cape, similar to Miss international have a cape. I think that looks more
Mhm.
regal without the crown, obviously. But the jacket, it just looks so awkward when he had to remove. I was like, what are you doing on the stage in front of like millions of people watching the show? Like, why are you getting naked? Like, that was a bit awkward
So
for
wait
me.
a minute. Was that the same jacket that the outgoing winner
I
was
think it was
wearing
the last year
already?
too. I think the Philippines wore that last. I was like, I don't know
Oh,
about
so they
this.
passed it on. Oh my God.
Yeah, just do a
Hopefully
cape.
they
Do they
hopefully
even
they
wash it?
wash it or dry clean it
It's like
before.
Vietnam's outfit at the prelims. Yeah, I was like, did
Yeah,
you wear
that's
that?
right.
Yeah. So the top five were Spain, Venezuela, Mexico, France, and the USA. Any surprises in the top five?
Yes, USA and definitely France should not have been there. I think they should have been replaced either by either Peru
Yes.
or
Laos? What do you think, Laos?
Laos. Peru
Laos?
or
Yeah.
Laos.
I don't know how I feel about this. I was like, they should have at least one Asian in the top five. Maybe Laos.
Laos, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh
Because
well.
yeah. And listening to the answers, like you said, like France, I loved his swimsuit. Like for me, he was one of my favorite in the swimsuit. But I just felt like he was not the best speaker for the both rounds. I was like, he's getting nervous. First of all, he's like butchering up his words. He's
Uh-huh.
mumbling. He's just saying things that clearly he did not practice. Maybe he did not expect to place that high, so he did not
Right.
practice his speech and his answers. So, or he could have just spoken French. I don't know if they had translator
I
provided
think he
for
could
him.
have. I think he should have spoken in French, and somebody
Yeah.
could have interpreted it. I
They should
think.
have at least one person speaks French, right? Common. It's
Yeah,
quite a
for
common
sure.
language. Yeah. So for the
Definitely.
France, I was like, what? And when I say USA, I think we both had the same reaction. I was like, WTF. I was like, what is he doing in the top five with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was super
Yeah, I don't have
awkward.
anything against USA, but
Yeah.
it's
I was
again
like,
it's the
no.
impression that we got. I think Spain will do a remarkable job being an ambassador for the organization. It's not like as if, Dom Camilla uh did a lot of things for the organization last year. Like what exactly did it do? I mean, did it like travel that much? I mean,
I'm not
like
sure. I don't really follow Mr. Glover that much, except the finals. So
yeah.
I don't
I
know
mean,
his
I don't
activity.
remember of an interesting event or activity that he engage himself in. So he was like a figurehead. Okay, we're gonna crown you Mr. Global. We're gonna give you half of your salary after 6 months, and then you come back to crown your successor, and we'll give you the rest of the money of your prize package. That's it. Bye.
So I heard, if I'm not wrong, the winner's prize is 100,000 baht, right? Which is technically, if you convert it into USD, US dollars, that's 3,000
Well,
for
because
the women.
they
Yeah,
don't do a lot. Male pageant winners really are not as busy or
yeah,
in demand compared to female pageant winners.
that
It's
is
the same thing
true.
with Supernational. Remember, Miss Supernational, I think she earns like $20,000 more money than
Correct.
Mr.
I think
Yeah,
Mr. is
because
$10,000, but still that is more than, let's say, 3,000. 3,000 is barely anything, Rafa. You could barely do anything with that much money. So what is he going
what
to
do
do
you
for one year?
expect?
Yeah.
TPM is cheap.
Yeah, they have a history of not paying allegedly, they have a history of not
Tell me
paying
about it.
their title holders. So I don't know if he will get that maybe
You
next
can do an
year
entire you
or
can do an entire vlog about that, George.
anyway. So I'm really happy with the results. I would personally would have loved to see Mexico holding hands with my lovely Superman, Mr. Spain, but I'm content.
Oh, the little curl in his hair on his
Yeah, he looks like
forehead.
a Superman, don't you
Yeah.
think? Like that
Very
Clark
Clark
Kent.
Kent. All he needed
I
was
love
glasses.
I
Yeah.
love Mr. Spain, and I think everyone can agree that he was the rightful winner from the get-go, from the moment he landed in Bangkok, Thailand. He just had that
Mhm.
special quality. He has that aura to be Mr.
Yes.
Global. When you look at the candidates' photos, I think
Mhm.
like Spain for me automatically stood out for all the right
Well,
reasons.
hopefully he will not give the organizations a hard time like compared to the first Mr. Spain that
Yes,
won in 2021.
Miguel,
That
correct.
guy, Miguel, he
Yeah.
he was a huge problem for the organization.
Two different people. Just because they are both Spanish, I don't think they will have the same attitude or behavior. I mean, the
Mhm.
new guy, Alejandro, right? I really love his name. It reminds me of that Lady Gaga.
Alejandro, like Lady
Yeah,
Gaga's name, Alejandro.
I think he has good attitudes from what I've seen so far. So I don't think he'll cause any trouble like the previous title holder from 2021, I think,
Crossing
Miguel.
our fingers,
Yeah.
crossing our
Because if something
fingers.
does happen, Venezuela is just sneaking in. He is ready for that giveaway crown.
True.
He's like, I'm
That's
waiting for
right.
something to happen, like slip up to happen. So, Spain,
Yeah,
do
you
not
guys know
mess
where to
up.
call me. I'm in Dubai right now. You can call me
Yeah,
anytime.
do not mess up because William is ready to take over that crown. So you cannot let him have it. He still needs to go to the competitions because he needs to win on the stage. So saying that, I think it was a really good show. Overall, how much points would they give? Let's say the overall show from the start to the end.
Yeah. Well, it hasn't. I still say seven. You
Seven, you're
know,
sticking to that?
yeah, I think it's a seven. Yeah, because there's still plenty of room for improvement. I'd like to see a much grander
Yeah.
edition next year. I think more contestants should compete. I think it
Correct.
has to be more consistency. And yeah, I mean, keep all the wonderful, beautiful Thai elements and Thai culture and whatnot. Get rid of the backstage hostesses, the women. Get rid of them.
Miss
Replace them
Global
with
Thailand. Yeah.
replace them with flaming members of the LGBT community. I think that would have been perfect and whatnot. I mean, keep PJ. I think he's an amazing host. I
Yes.
think. So we'll
PK.
see if
Yeah. Yeah.
Mr.
Yeah.
Spain, if Mr. Spain will host next year.
That'll be fun. I want to hear.
Maybe his English will have improved. I think his
Yes,
English will have
definitely.
improved by then. So we'll
Yeah.
see. We'll
Also,
see.
actually, at the start I said I will give 6 points. I am actually dropping 1 point because at the end, I don't know if you saw it, but right after the crowning, there was an
Oh
altercation
yes.
between Mr. Global India
Yes. Oh
and
my
Mr.
God. What
England, allegedly, who's Pakistani, by the way. So, like, they are like, it's like this.
were
If
they
you put
what was the
India with
argument about? Do
Pakistan,
you know? A lot of people are speculating.
well,
Like,
they're just
what was the argument
rumors,
about?
but apparently they had some like issues going on from the start. I don't know. This is alleged. I cannot confirm it.
Was it
And they
like
also,
personal issues? Not
yeah,
political, but
no, no,
personal.
no,
Okay.
personal issues. So like they're
Like,
saying that, but they're also saying this because they are like Pakistan and India. They never get along. We know the country's situation. So there are a lot of news happening. I gave six, but because of that and the level of unprofessionalism they showed on the stage, which you cannot do, because I don't care if you hate each other, do it backstage. I do not want to see
well,
cameras filming all of that.
did you see a stage crew separate them?
Yes,
Yeah.
I think Mr.
You want to
Mr. England was moved away further from Mr. India. So because of
right.
that, I'm giving 5 points to the overall show because at the start I liked it. I gave it six, but you cannot have any fights on the stage because come on, Rafa, this is an international standard show. It's a world-class show. You cannot ruin the image and the reputation of the show by doing like cat fights or drama on the stage. That's just uncalled for. I didn't like it. What do you think?
Well, if it happens in female pageants, I'm sure it happens also in male pageants. So what's the difference? You know, we need more drama in male pageants.
Yeah, Miss. The only thing that two things happen actually. So far, the Mr. Global this year, there were no dramas, there were no like fights, no nothing until the final show. So we had Mr. Vietnam who dropped out, like he withdrew
Yeah.
before the
Mhm.
finals, and the second one obviously was the fight between India and England. So clearly, even male pageantry cannot escape from dramas. Yeah, so we'll do in his channel for the next video will be in Critical Beauty. So
All
subscribe to his
right. Have a
YouTube
wonderful
channel.
weekend, darling.
Yes. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed our video, please hit the like button, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and we will see you guys soon in the next video soon. So thank you so much. And let me know in the comment what do you think of the Mr. Global results and if you like the Mr. Spain. So, okay, bye-bye.